You meet a guy, you like him, he's charming, he makes you laugh, the chemistry is undeniable, but something feels off. Maybe before you met him, you felt okay, but now you're feeling anxious and you're not sure, is this my anxious attachment or am I just overthinking it? Or is this my gut telling me something that I shouldn't ignore? Because something feels a little bit off, but you can't really put a finger on it. And today I'm going to be helping you gain clarity to understand if there are certain signs that you might be ignoring in the early stages of dating. So we're going to uncover the signs that you should be aware of to see if he's just looking to sleep with you. Because oftentimes the signs are there. It's just hard to see them when you are emotionally involved. So let's break them down. I'm a self-worth coach and a somatic therapist, and for the last 6 years, I've been helping women feel worthy and secure in themselves. And I help women heal their anxious attachment so that they stop settling for crumbs and abandoning themselves in relationships. Today's video is one of those that I wish someone would have made for me 10 years ago. And we're going to be talking about signs that a man is not looking for something serious and he is potentially only looking for something casual with you, while you are hoping for more. And I'm going to be quite blunt with this, and this is never to shame you. I've made my fair share of mistakes, but it is so that you can learn who to give access to yourself to and who to protect yourself from. Sign number 1. He moves fast physically, but slow emotionally. He is all over you physically, lots of flirting, lots of touch, lots of physical compliments. Oh, you're so beautiful, you're so sexy. But when it comes down to the actual emotional conversation, getting to know you, getting to know your life, your dreams, your values, he's vague, he's quite surface level in this area. And when you bring it up, he either changes the subject or doesn't show interest. My love, a man who wants you for real wants to know you, not just your body. He wants to know your heart, your soul, the person that you are. And it's normal that men would be attracted to sex. They are filled with testosterone. And there's a reason why we say that they think with their second head. But a man that is looking for something serious and is seeing a potential of something serious with you, because there's a difference there. If his interest in you is only staying surface level and about your body and physicality, then there is a big chance that he is only looking for something casual and nothing deeper. So it's important to be aware, not just be excited about the attention he's giving you, but what type of attention are you getting from him? Sign number 2. This is quite an obvious one, but sometimes when we're in it and we're so emotionally involved, obvious does not seem so obvious. He contacts you only late at night, or he asks you to meet last minute at night, which is usually terms for a booty call. This one is almost too classic, but still catches women off guard. Because when you like someone, you want to believe the best about them. You want it to work out. If the majority of his texts arrive after 9 p.m. and if he's ignoring you and then all of a sudden he seems very interested and it's always late at night when he's bored, alone or horny, and if he asks you to come over instead of offers you to take you out, you most probably already know what this is. You know where I'm going with this. You don't need me to spell it out. Because a man who sees you as a potential partner, and usually men, they can feel quite early on that they can see something with someone. He will usually also think about you during the day and he will make actual plans with you. He asks you out. He creates an experience with you. Because late night texts and late night come over are usually for convenience and not for a true connection. So it's important that you're not getting excited or waiting for him to message you, and as soon as he does, you go running his way, because most likely you're going to get hurt. Sign number 3, he avoids any conversation about what this is between the two of you. You've been seeing each other for a few weeks or a month, things feel good, but every time the subject of what you actually are or where you're actually going or what the intentions are, he suddenly becomes the most progressive and chilled out man on earth. He starts saying things like, let's just see where this goes, or I don't like labels, or I'm just going with the flow. Red flag. Red flag. And because you like him and you don't want to rock the boat, you go along with it. And it doesn't mean you have to force something. It doesn't mean you have to try to control where this is going. But a man that doesn't have a vision for the two of you and doesn't have the intention to move things forward will do his utmost to keep you there hanging without giving you the clarity and security that you need to truly feel safe with him. A man that wants to be in a relationship and that is secure in his attachment style and in himself, he's not going to be afraid to go after what he wants. The only two excuses I will have with this is is someone with self-worth issues, which ideally he would work on himself before trying to get in a relationship, or someone that is maybe on the spectrum, maybe undiagnosed or diagnosed, it doesn't matter. Those would be the two excuses, because otherwise most probably he is either avoidantly attached, or he just doesn't want to be with you, or he just doesn't want to be in a relationship. And not that these men are bad, but they're not good for you because you want more. If a man truly wants you, he wouldn't want to lose you. So sometimes that vagueness and keeping things surface level is not just who he is, his personality, it's his strategy, it's his way of keeping you there without claiming you or having the intention to eventually. Sign number 4, months are passing and he doesn't introduce you to anyone in his life. You've been seeing this man for a while and you know nothing about his friends, his family. You never met any of his friends. He never shows you on social media. You exist in a little private bubble between the two of you. And don't get me wrong, some people are private. You don't have to be on social media to have a relationship. Some people are in a long-term relationship without ever even posting pictures on social media because they just don't like to show their face or whatever it is, and that's valid. But there's a difference between someone who is maybe more off-grid, naturally introverted, versus someone who is actively keeping you separate from his life so that you don't get too close. Because at the end of the day, if he's not interested in integrating you in his world, it's most likely because he doesn't plan to have you a part of it. Now, I'm not saying in the first few weeks, okay? I'm saying as time passes, months in. Sign number 5, you only see effort from him when you pull back, and then he disappears or show less effort and interest when you lean in and when you give in. This one is one of the most painful ones, and I really need you to hear this. Have you ever noticed that when you are a bit distant, when you are busy, when you don't respond immediately, suddenly he's all over you? He's texting more, he's making plans, he's turning up the charm. But the moment you warm back up to him and you're open and available again, he pulls back. Now, it's important that I make a clear distinction here, because if you are being very needy and clingy, it is normal that the other person, whether they are secure, avoidantly attached, if you are operating from your anxious attachment and they feel like they are responsible for your well-being in an unhealthy codependent way, it is normal that they would pull back a bit, and when you relax, they feel safer to lean in. But this is different. We are saying when you are emotionally available and open, he pulls back, and then as soon as you pull back, he starts leaning in. It's almost like he doesn't want you fully, but he doesn't want you to leave. It's convenient to stay in that middle ground. Most times in this case, they're either avoidantly attached, which they would need to work on, or he's just interested in the chase, which they can also be avoidantly attached if he's just interested in the chase, but not always the case. The moment he senses he might have you, his interest drops, because having you is not actually the goal. The goal is that excitement of the chase. And this is one of the cruelest patterns that I see so many women stuck in, and I've experienced this in the past too. It's not fun at all, because it keeps you in this constant cycle of hope and disappointment. And I see a lot when there's a woman that is anxiously attached, that is dating a man that is maybe avoidant or is not open for a relationship and is just seeking the chase. There is this constant dance of the anxiously attached woman feeling hope because she wants it so much, and then constantly getting disappointed, which is so heartbreaking. But the good news is that you can bring back the power to yourself. This is not just reliant on the guy, because you get to choose yourself and to discern within yourself what and who is good for you and what and who is worth keeping in your life and investing in. And this usually puts you in a lot of stress cycles because your nervous system is constantly being activated. Either the stress response, which is the fight or flight, where you feel like you have to do something, the fawning, where you go and people please, or the shutdown, when you feel almost frozen, like you can't do anything. So you don't say what you want to say, you keep everything into yourself, and you're constantly going through these different motions. Sign number 6. The conversations are usually either surface level or they turn sexual pretty quickly. Maybe you talk all the time, but what is it that you actually talk about? Is he curious about your life? Does he remember things about your life? Now, don't get me wrong, some people, for me, for example, with ADHD, they would struggle with remembering certain details. but you can feel when a guy is actually interested in getting to know you and not just this. Or is every conversation you can see him trying to steer it into something sexual? Does he make constant jokes that eventually turn into something physical? And there's nothing wrong with these if they are spurred out, but if this is the only side of him he's giving you, most probably that's the only thing he's seeking. And also, when you show a vulnerable side of you, does he respond to it with deflection and humor? Because a man that wants to build something with you will also be interested in your mind. He wants to understand you, he finds you interesting and intriguing, and not just attractive physically. Sign number 7, your gut has been trying to tell you something. And I saved this one for last because it is the most important one and the one we are most likely to dismiss. Because when something is off, usually deep down, you know it. You might convince yourself and try to justify why he is the way that he is or why things are the way that they are. But oftentimes you can feel some level of unsafety, uneasiness. Your body is usually reacting to inconsistency and unclear intentions. And the anxiously attached woman has often been taught to dismiss her own intuition, to tell herself she's overthinking, to give the benefit of the doubt, even when the doubt is screaming at her. And there's a balance here. Because how to know if this is your anxious attachment playing or if this is your gut telling you something? When usually your intuition is telling you something, it is more random. It is not a train of thought where you start overthinking about something and then you think it's your intuition. Usually it comes out a little bit more subtle, a little bit more maybe out of nowhere, and it feels more of a deep knowing instead of just big anxiety. Have I been overthinking and triggering this anxiety? Or is there a subtle feeling, a deeper knowing that is telling me something is not right? And the way to start acknowledging this is usually when it's anxious attachment. It comes up even when things are going well, when the behavior of the person is good. But are you defending him? Are you making up justifications for him? Are you trying to convince yourself or others that he is good and that he means well? Oftentimes, when we start to do these things, it's more likely that it's because he's not showing up in a healthy way in your dynamic, rather than just you overthinking it. Now, what to do if you recognize any of these signs? Here's what I don't want you to do, okay? Take notes. I don't want you to send him a long message or try harder to make him want a relationship, because that will never work out, or change yourself to become more appealing to him unless you are not being yourself and you become more of yourself. That's different. But I want you to be radically honest with yourself for a moment about what you actually want, how you want to feel when you're with someone. Do you want to feel safe? Do you want to feel cared for? And whether this guy is capable of giving that to you, and whether he wants to, whether he's doing it, whether he's trying to. Because you cannot convince a man to want a relationship or to want to be in a relationship with you. You cannot love him enough until you convince him to be with you, because this will often lead you to you abandoning yourself in the relationship. The real work is in understanding why you are willing to settle for so little and believe that this is what you deserve. Why the idea of walking away is so painful than being walked all over or just receiving crumbs is enough. And that is the attachment wound talking. And that is where we actually need to heal. Now, if you find yourself confused and falling into these anxious attachment patterns and behaviors, and whether you are tired of maybe feeling used or not feeling good enough or not feeling chosen in love, you keep on feeling anxious, I have created a masterclass that will really help you with these issues. If you want to be one of the first to receive the recording as soon as it's out, go ahead in the link section and put your email address there so that you receive it as soon as it comes out, so you don't miss it. And if this video was helpful, make sure to subscribe to A Mind Like Mine, where you get to understand yourself deeply. Thank you for being here and sending you so much love.